Remember when Dink was touching Jimmy
wait
all
a
over?
minute. Wait a minute. That was horrendous. And he was the right height. What are you talking about? I'm like, get the hell out of here.
All right, welcome to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monte The Pharaoh, only seen here out of Indie Music TV, out of Ronkonkoma, New York. All right, thank you for joining Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, and we're very excited for you to be the first video call-in to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, so you will be the inaugural Ask Monte The Pharaoh anything question, brother. Anything you want to ask us, it doesn't matter.
Oh, boy.
Hit us.
Talk about pressure here. Okay. You guys have been friends for what? Grammar school, junior high school?
Yeah. About going back to 1981.
All right. If you two guys got to a legit shoot fight, who would win?
If we did what?
A legit shoot fight.
Me and him?
Yes.
He's winning. This guy served in the army and stuff like that. He's a lot bigger than I am. So do I get to use foreign objects, Rob?
I was thinking on a straight up fight, it'll be Monty, but on a New York street fight, they're really about fight dirty. Talking foreign objects, maybe
interesting.
weapons,
Very interesting.
groin stuff.
Very interesting. I'm still going to bet on him, but
Rob,
you never know.
I would tell you that at my age now, and I don't know if you know this, Rob, but I had a massive heart attack last year. I think Jimmy would probably kick my ass at this point. And I'm being 100% honest.
God.
Yeah.
Hey, we're not going to mention my stomach removal, are we? I mean, between your heart attack and my stomach removal, I think we'd both be like, nah.
What do you like about the show, and what don't you like about the show?
Ooh.
Well, I've been a fan for a couple of years, way back from your old studio until now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I mean, I love the way that y'all talk to the stars there. Other podcasts are like canned questions, and y'all really get into things that really I like and kind of want to get to know about them. So it's always been top notch.
We're all wrestling fans. We all love the sport, but our envisionment, I think, was we wanted people who are watching this to hear the wrestlers' thoughts other than
the
obviously we talk about some wrestling, but hear what they think about life. But, I will tell you this, Rob, when these guys come in here, they truly enjoy themselves.
They do.
They let down their guard.
They really do.
They feel like they could speak their mind no matter what it is, right? If they're on the right or the left of politics, if they're against religion or whatever.
Sure.
And I think they have a lot to lend. These guys have been around, or these women have been around, whatever. They've lived a true valued life.
And most importantly, they're people. You want to talk to them about people things. It's not always about how was that arm bar or that leg lock you clamped on back in '87. You know, there is more to it. And we try to find out.
You've been watching wrestling for a long time. Have you ever cried in the stands watching a wrestler come out and cried with massive tears like a nerd?
I haven't seen him Punk yet. No. My all-time favorite is Shane Douglas.
Shane? I love Shane.
Okay. The night when he threw down the belt, made Eastern Championship Wrestling Extreme, man, that was it. That was awesome. That was groundbreaking.
All right, Rob, well, we want to thank you for being the first call and the first questions, and we thank you again, honestly, for your loyalty and support. There he is. Oh, my God. Incredible, man.
Hey.
What up, brother?
I want to try. Everyone messes up the last name, so try to give that a shot again.
Phil Descara.
You're close.
I can't see
Cesare.
Caesarea. I'm not even close.
Wow.
That's kind of you, Phil. Oh my God! But you know what? That's kind of my thing. I can't pronounce anything.
Kind of.
So Phil, hit us with it, bro. What is your question?
It's okay if you don't want to address it, but you guys were off a few weeks ago and banned, and I think the biggest issue, the biggest threat we're facing now, I think, is censorship in so many areas and so many avenues. I mean, I think many of us are just walking on eggshells now, thinking about what we can say and what we can't. I wanted to know if that experience, obviously it affected you guys, but
Sure.
How much thought goes into things now, and do you really find yourself analyzing what you're going to say before you say it?
Nope.
That's it? You just say
Nope.
That's it?
Nope.
Clean
You know
no
what? I
explanation?
mean, just for the record, it pissed me off to no end, and it was an absolute injustice. But you do not change what works. So no.
Here's the thing, Phil. I truly love this country.
Oh yeah.
I bleed red, white, and blue.
Oh yeah.
I believe in our structure in this country.
Oh, yeah.
Even sometimes I don't always believe in the politics. What happened to us was an example, I think, is what's happening in this country right now. I mean, with all due respect, Missy Hyatt said some statements. She didn't tell anybody not to do anything. I don't think she was trying to influence anyone.
Nope.
She was telling her thoughts.
That's right.
And I just felt like you shouldn't be shutting down people. Freedom of speech is a very important thing. As long as you're not leading people to hurting each other,
right,
or doing something wrong,
right,
you should be able to say what you have to say, no matter how bad or good it is, right? People, people are going to listen to what they want to listen to.
Phil, the most revolting thing of the whole thing was that there was no trial when it came to our suspension. We asked them why, and we were basically shut down in a second. There was no fair process, so that to me was very alarming. Hopefully the rest of the country doesn't play out along these kinds of lines, but it seems to be like you were saying, but it's not going to change us, bro. It's not going to change us one bit. Not one bit.
They say that democracy dies in darkness, and that's a big danger.
I agree.
And I think everyone who's listening, and you guys, and everyone who's followed the business for years, we can kind of smell a shoot from a work. And I think right now, in a general sense, we're really getting worked. If we're watching TV as our main source of news, we're getting worked, you know? So I think we as fans can smell it a mile away. So
absolutely.
Everyone do your homework and investigate multiple sources. Don't take anything at face value that you're seeing coming through that screen right now. So that's what I think.
Well done. Well done.
And honestly, the Pharaoh doesn't have a television set because I refuse to be manipulated. So I take it very seriously what they're trying to feed us. So I agree.
Right on.
There you go.
So Phil, let me ask you this.
Yes.
What don't you like about our show?
Oh.
I haven't found anything yet. I haven't found anything yet that I can say.
Phil is the man.
I got to tell you, if I could speak for the Pharaoh, we do love you, and we thank you for all the support you've been giving us, and we respect what you're saying. I mean, there's nothing wrong with what you're saying, and we appreciate your candor.
And it's all about the boys, too, and keeping the boys busy and, giving them a forum and making sure people don't forget about them. And, it's... And you guys are great with them, very respectful. You keep it positive, you keep it funny. I mean, you ask the questions, but it's not too dark, and it's just right.
Yeah,
and,
we try not to get into the dark stuff, right? I mean, that stuff's covered all the time, and I personally, and I know Pharaoh, we grew up in these guys, and we have nothing but respect for them. So. It's sometimes it doesn't make sense. Well, Phil, thanks for joining us, man.
Can I
Thank
squeeze
you guys.
in one?
Really appreciate it.
Phil, sit tight a second. Can I get just one question in with Phil? I love Phil's comments. He's very quick-witted. Phil, who's your comedic influences? Because you are quick on a draw.
Oh wow, that's a good question. Of course, George Carlin was great.
How did I know? How did I know?
One of the best. One of the best.
Oh, Aaron's on.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Where's the bell? I won't believe you until I hit a bell.
Oh,
I believe you. Good job, Maddie.
When did you discover the show?
Probably 2 years ago, and I did internet surfing, I was watching Devin Nicholson,
Okay.
but then just I just found that his podcasts were getting a little on the negative side. So I just started to lose interest with him, and I looked for somebody else, and I stumbled upon you guys, and I just started watching. And the one thing I liked about you guys over Devin Nicholson was I thought you guys were way more positive. You guys, you have your sense of humor, your jokes.
Thank you.
And I liked how when people wrote in, you guys always responded. I especially enjoy the what's his name again? That I forgot. Phil Brooks. I forgot about him. That Phil Brooks guy, and I can't help it, Pharaoh. Whenever Monty gets you going, you get that high-pitched voice. You remind me of Gilbert Godfrey, and I just laugh.
Thank you. You know, it's interesting, too. I've been compared to guys like Gilbert Godfrey and who's the other one from Artie Lang. I got to be honest with you, bro. They never were my influences, so maybe it's just a coincidence, but I'm glad it cracks you up. That works for me, so thanks.
Yeah, so I guess one of my one question tonight was, since learning that Pharaoh, you are a horror movie buff,
Yes.
and Monty as well. I wanted to ask you guys, since you live in New York,
Mm-hmm.
and I had learned a couple years ago that there's an urban legend in New York. It originated in New York, and that was the urban legend of Cropsey.
Right.
Now, I know Cropsey gets recognized because of the 1981 horror movie, The Burning.
Mm-hmm.
But my question to you guys was, when you guys grew up, were you guys ever told about the legend of Cropsey? Is the urban legend of Cropsey still told? Like, is it still told today? Do people believe in Cropsey today?
Interesting. To be very honest, growing up in New York during the early 80s, around that time, Cropsey, believe it or not, even then, was not really discussed. Okay? Everybody became aware of it through the movie that you just mentioned, The Burning, which I think is a little underrated. It's kind of very atmospherically creepy. It's a pretty good flick, especially for the time period. But it was not something that was really discussed.
Aaron, I will tell you this. Pharaoh is certainly a horror guy. I personally hate horror.
Do you really?
I can't.
What?
I know horror.
What?
But
What?
Wait a minute.
I don't hate it. I'm scared of horror.
Oh, so it really freaks
I
you
don't.
out.
It makes me uncomfortable.
Interesting. Are you getting a load of this guy next to me here?
And we really appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to call into us. You just don't know what it means to us.
Well, I'm glad I was able to attend tonight and be a part of it, because this is the first time I've done anything like this.
Good.
So
Thank
does this mean now that since I talked to you guys, I'm in the business?
Well,
that's great. He fits right in.
he fits right in.
He's
In
the
fact, you've
business.
become a pro wrestling expert, Aaron.
Yeah.
You
Hey,
can.
can
you
does
go-
that include my handshake with the grumpy Bret Hart?
Oh, you can do a handshake, and in fact, you could write a book about yourself, and you could
Why
make
not?
a really lousy DVD and try to pawn it off to everybody.
Yeah, that
We'll call it 387 days and 45 seconds.
Yeah, that works. That works. That absolutely works.
What do
And,
you got for us, handsome? What do you want to ask Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast?
Well, I'd like to ask you guys, what is your Mount Rushmore?
Wow, you go first.
You want me to start it?
Yeah,
huh?
you start. That's a good question.
Hulk Hogan,
Okay. There's one.
Randy Savage,
Okay, there's two.
Roddy Piper,
Okay, that's three.
Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
Wow.
And I'm going to make an official announcement right now.
What's that?
Roman Reigns.
That's 5. What is Vince the Mountain, and the other 4 are on the mountain? That works.
Guess you're right.
Okay.
Oh, we'll go Vince.
Interesting.
Roman Reigns. All right, Reigns is out. There's my 4.
Okay. Wow, that's rough. Boy, oh boy, he's got me now. Am I? Let me ask you something, bro. Am I doing it as a responsible journalist, or am I doing it from my heart? You tell me which way you want me to go with this.
As a fan.
As a fan. Okay. Hulk Hogan. Chris Jericho. Rob Van Dam. Shinsuke Nakamura.
Wow.
These are the people that I love the most.
That's your fan.
And if it wasn't for Phil Brooks being such a loud, douchey pain in the ass since he's come back, I would have put him on there. But he only weighs 3 pounds, and his mouth is bigger than the rest of his body right now.
So, Chris,
and I love Punk.
Who is in your Mount Mushmore?
Hulk Hogan.
Okay.
Randy Savage.
Nice.
Andre the Giant.
Nice.
Undertaker.
Nice. Wow.
So, Chris, I'm assuming since you're such a big Andre the Giant fan, I want you to answer honestly. I'm sure you saw the documentary that was created by HBO.
Yes.
Did you cry?
He's going back.
Yeah, very sad. He had a pretty sad life, really.
Yeah, he did, didn't he? He did.
I tell Pharaoh this all the time.
Yeah.
I cry every time I watch that documentary. I mean, you're talking about a man that lived for pro wrestling, and when it escaped him because of his age, he just...
So why don't we just cut to the chase then? Chris, let me ask you, is it wrong to cry over a wrestler? Because, or does it depend on the situation, like when Punk came back and that guy was getting all bubbly-wubbly in the audience? Is it right or wrong to cry over a pro wrestler?
No, I've cried over pro wrestling because we love it. It's something that we
Right.
we love these guys. We've watched them all our
Sure.
lives, and they're very influential.
Who do you like better, Monty or the Pharaoh?
Oh, come on. You creep. Go ahead. Oy, what a troublemaker. You are such a... Go ahead.
Well,
Tell
I'll
him
give you... The last 3 months, I've been giving you your morning wake-up call every day.
That's for sure.
He likes you. So wait a minute. If he had picked me, that means my phone is ringing
love
every
you too,
morning.
Jimmy.
Like Monty.
How did you discover Monty and the Pharaoh?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
what do you like about the show, and what don't you like about the show?
To be honest, I looked up Scott Hall interviews because I love Scott Hall. I loved Razor Ramon. And I seen you guys interview him, and I think that was the interview you didn't really particularly like him that much.
You might be particularly... You might be right. Go on.
Yeah, he was a bit rude, but that's how I found you guys, and that's when I contacted you, Mike, by
Who
Facebook.
was your favorite guest on the show?
Great question. Okay.
Doink and Dink at the auction.
How great
At the
were they?
auction.
They were great.
Dink with Jimmy.
They were great.
Dink with Jimmy. Remember when Dink was touching
Whoa,
Jimmy all
wait a
over?
minute. Wait a minute. That was horrendous. And he was the right height. What are you talking about? I'm like, get the hell out of here. Go away.
That was hilarious.
All right, that was rough. I don't know. Yeah, it was hilarious
That
for
was
you.
funny. Poor Jimmy.
Try being over here.
I'm sporting my Monty and the Pharaoh t-shirt. The hottest t-shirt out here on Thursday night. So if you're looking for a great wrestling podcast, tune in Thursday nights at 9 o'clock for Monty and the Pharaoh.
Whoa! Yes. So, Maria, how did you discover Monty and the Pharaoh?
Well, due to the pandemic last year, I was checking through some of the different wrestling podcasts, and I came across Monty and the Pharaoh, and I'm like, well, who are these two guys? I've never heard of them before. So I said, well, since I've been a wrestling fan since like grade school, junior high, and high school, and college, and afterwards, It's like it's time to get something new. So I started tuning in. I was like, wow, these two guys are really cool. I like that. And I like the sunglasses, and I like your promos were cool, and you kept the show exciting, and you never really put people down. You just let people just say what they want. And I think that's great. And I also like the fact that because you've been in the wrestling business for, so many years, and you've got experience, and you allow the fans to be themselves. And I like that. And you don't like sugarcoat stuff. You just call it straight down the line. And that's how I like it. I mean, I've been called everything, but everything that's on my driver's license and my birth certificate. And I'm not offended.
Hey, don't worry, your package should be arriving. I shipped it a little late. I'm sorry, I got a little behind, but Maria's got some good stuff coming to her.
Wait a minute. Now, do you realize you said the words package and behind in the same sentence? You know what you're doing?
We love you both. We'll talk to you soon.
Love you guys.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you, Chris.
You too, Miss Davis.
We got Jimmy's partner.
No way.
Jimmy's
Griggs.
partner,
Do we
the
really?
world-renowned guitarist,
Composer.
songwriter,
Oh, sure.
one half of Wisteria Hall,
This is
Bart
true.
Griggs. And we're going to end the show with Bart Griggs. We thought everybody could get to meet the other half of
Absolutely.
Jimmy Pharaoh. Welcome to Long Island's #1 pro wrestler and broadcast, Monte The Pharaoh.
This is burnt. Bart, are you
Hello, guys. Can you hear me?
Yes.
We can hear you.
We can hear you.
What are we playing here?
That's Waiting on a Friend.
Played a little Rolling Stones.
That's right.
Yes,
beautiful.
Waiting on a Friend.
Nice.
I don't need no whore. I don't need no booze. I don't need no virgin priest.
Hey, he said
I
virgin.
just like you guys, man. You.
Where is he?
Schmagamagog, whatever he says.
What? That's Ralph
What's
from the Kid.
up?
That's
Look at him.
There he is. What's happening? Hey, wait a minute. Where
What's
are
up,
you?
fellas?
That's not. Bart, where are you? That's not the studio. Where are you?
I'm at home, the home studio.
Oh,
you know,
I was gonna. I thought you.
nothing too.
Okay, I thought you were gonna tell me like you threw a rock through a window and went into somebody's basement or something. I never know with you. Okay.
So, Bart, let me ask you, how did you meet the infamous Jimmy Pharaoh?
Oh boy. Wow.
Wow. I'll keep it short. Me and Jimmy had a mutual friend. His name was Paul, was recording Jimmy's band at the time. And found out we had a mutual love for softball. So between softball, music, Mother Nature,
what that
songwriting, rock and roll.
Wait, would Mother Nature be
Everything.
Smoking weed?
Of course it would be, you rockhead. What are you
The
talking?
love of weed?
Yeah, the love of Mother Nature. Yeah. Yeah, of course.
It's all good, you know.
When,
and then me and
when
Jimmy,
was that? Like 1991, right? Let's give people a time frame here. 91.
yes, and you know what? And we started singing. Like first, I saw Jimmy play with his band too. But after the softball games, we'd all be singing Black Sabbath. It was crazy. We'd be sitting outside drinking beer.
It's true.
Mother Nature. And then we would all be like singing. It was ridiculous. It was great though. Was that not fun?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was.
So,
Great
Bart,
show tonight, guys. This is a nice concept.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, man.
The one thing that you and Jimmy both love, too, is your abuse for sports, that both of you hang on to these teams in New York that just crush your soul. It's really good to see you, Bart. I haven't seen you in a while. You look good.
He does look good.
Thank you, buddy. I miss you guys. I mean, I see Jimmy. We do our tour of the King's Park when we're not editing the cable shows. We have to get out all those little curse words that you and the wrestlers say, you know, like the F words and stuff.
Yeah.
And we make it into and some of the wrestlers kind of go on and on. They're all great, but we have to like cut it down a little bit so it's like English. And then don't forget about Pharaoh's Corner, man. Have you guys caught on to Pharaoh's Corner yet? Oh my God. That's like the most eclectic, funny,
plugging.
Another
shows.
commercial guy.
Selfish plugging.
Bart,
Sorry.
Bart, you're doing the next commercial. You're hired.
So, Bart, the big question is, when will Wisteria Hall be making their debut on Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast? Can I hold you guys to a date?
Careful, Bart. We haven't talked about this.
Yeah, we haven't talked about it, but I feel more I feel like it's going to happen because you know, we've been playing a little bit recently, and I think we both like where it's going.
Yeah.
And We always have new songs, but then we got the ones that we're proud of that people need to hear. And, you know, as an artist, Jimmy speaking, you need to be inspired, you know? I can't just pick up the guitar. Now I'm really feeling it, though, if you know what I'm saying. Just letting the world know we have great music to listen to, and I want you guys to hear it live. And Jimmy, of course, is the second coming of Morrison and Jagger. Just put them together.
Thank you.
You know?
Oh, my God. Thanks.
Well, I could tell you,
No.
Phil says that you're the second coming of Mongo McMichael because you stole his sunglasses.
I don't even know if Bart remembers Mongo McMichael.
802 Blue says, loves Pharaoh's Corner.
There you go.
So, Bart, I want to thank you for being the last caller on our first groundbreaking phone call. If people didn't know it, again, some people did. Jimmy's birthday was on Sunday. So I thought maybe you'd let us out, Bart, with a nice happy birthday song
don't.
to Jimmy Pharaoh.
Oh, God, Bart, don't do it.
Okay.
Oh, no, he's going to do it. What are you doing?
Happy birthday, oh Jimmy.
He's singing like Marilyn Monroe.
Happy birthday to Jim.
Okay, that's better.
Happy birthday, Jimmy Pharaoh. Happy birthday to you. Yeah, so many more, man. Let's let it be happy ones.
Thank you,
know?
bro. Thank you.
Really enjoy the show, guys. You know, you always got to say this is the Long Island's #1. This is like the nation's #1. I mean, who really watches these other shows that are on? I mean, without a sleeping, it's like a sleeping pill. This show rules. It's funny. It's informative. I love the arguing. I mean, it's great. I love, like, you know, it all comes back together. Well, you know, like the little, it's not like, oh, I agree with you. Oh, I agree with you too. And I agree with you. And I agree with you. It's like,
right.
You know, this agreements, but then there's some, you know, point counterpoint, like a good show should have. It's great.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
If I'm going to send us out one thing, I know Jimmy and Bart are part of Wisteria Hall, but their music is so wonderful, everybody out there.
Thank you.
You really should listen to it. It's got soul, it's fun, it's up, it's down. You know, I was joking with Jimmy before, and, you know, and I really do mean it. It's like you could work out to it, you could read a book to it, and you could jump off a building to it, right? and all three are major compliments,
Thank
right?
you. I think we
Because they're
covered
in
all
the
grounds,
soul.
Bart.
Thank you. That means a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah, it means a lot. You know,
All
we
right.
used to say our music was so organic that you can actually wrap it up and smoke it. That's how, like, organic it is.
Bart, you have the floor. Send us out.
Okay, so you want us to send out the In My Dreams, I mean? Like that kind of
Whatever
song?
you want to
or-
do, buddy. It's your show.
Instrumental? In my dreams, life is supposed to be. Whoa!
Outro
Love you
there,
guys.
super producer. Love you, Bart. Love you, everybody out there. God bless.
Take care, Jimmy.
Later!